Hi you guys, it's Trainer Tiff with Tackle It with Tiff, and today I just wanted to go over kind of how I got started, where I used to be, the journey to where I am now. So, you guys have seen my transformation pictures. You've seen my before and my current. I'm not going to call it an after because it's an ongoing thing. But how I got to where I was. So, I was not always a super large person. However, I felt that way, like compared to the girls that I envied and stuff like that. I didn't have an athletic build. I, wasn't petite in the body frame area. I'm short. I'm only 5'3". But I wasn't thin kind of thing. But I wasn't a large person, but I felt that way, But as I got older and, lifestyles change and I had some tragedies in my family, and let me just put it this way. There was a point where I lost a family member every other month. For 6 months, I lost one family member every other month. And people that were very, very close to me. So it got really hard for a while. But, then I got married, and I was very happily married, and so happily married that I gained 30 pounds in 1 year. Boom! Good personal record, right? It was 10 pounds more than my freshman 20, so, I broke my own record there. And I then got pregnant, which was fantastic. I was very, very happy to be pregnant, and gained even more weight. But, your body goes through a lot when you are pregnant, when you have kids, and it's an even crazier change when you've gained so much weight just before you got pregnant, because of course your doctors don't let you lose weight while you're pregnant. No. Then they tell you that you have to gain so much weight every single week and stuff like that, but your body just continues to get beaten to smithereens while you're trying to grow your child. So then after I had my baby, everything seemed fine, and I just kind of accepted where my body was and kept telling myself, okay, well, I just had a baby, and that's why I'm built this way. And, but then once my little one turned 6 months old, I started getting really upset because I realized that you can't say that you just had a baby when your little one is 6 months old. So it started to really, I felt the strain at that point. Getting really upset with where I had allowed my body to go, and that, I hadn't kept on myself as much as I should about getting healthy. And I knew how much I had weighed in high school because I was on a wrestling team. I had to know exactly what my weight was. I weighed 128 in high school. That was the weight class that I wrestled in. And then seeing the scale, go up towards 200 pounds, it hits you all of a sudden that those jeans aren't snug because of they just stayed in the dryer for a little too long. They're snug because you're unhealthy. And I remember looking in the mirror and thinking that I never wanted my daughter to see me the way that I was, and I didn't want her to ever look at me and say, I love my mother very much, but I don't want to look like her. So that was a really, scary thing. So I wanted to make sure that I turned my life around and made sure that I was a good parent, and wanted to make sure that I could be a good parent by being in shape and being able to run after my kids, because I also have 2 stepsons that are 2 and 4 years older than my daughter. So, these little guys are fast and very energetic, and I have to be able to keep up with all 3. So, it was a big ordeal to suddenly decide, okay, this is it, and there was just this invisible switch that went off, and I finally decided that that was it. I wasn't going to battle my weight. I wasn't going to be upset about how much I weighed. I knew that I could only get better. So I sucked up whatever pride I had. I put on a pair of bra and panties and went in to talk to my husband. Took a camera with me. And guys, when your wife comes in with bra and panties and a camera, you start smiling, right? I was not smiling. I was crying. And I flat out said, I need you to take this picture. So I stood against a wall and had him take a picture so that I could see from the outside what I looked like. Because when you look in the mirror, you see certain things, and it's not necessarily the way that it's perceived. So that other people perceive it. And we see ourselves differently in our mind than other people see us, both, you know, physically and emotionally. So being able to see how the world saw me as opposed to what I saw in my mind was a big thing. And, you know, I look back at those before pictures. Those are insane before pictures, especially because, you know, mentally I didn't see myself there. So it was hard, but at the same time, it was really important. And I tell everybody, the best thing you can do is take pictures. Take pictures, take pictures, take pictures. If you have not taken pictures, pause the video right now, strip down to your skivvies, put on a bathing suit, and take a picture of yourself. From all 4 angles, not just the front, both sides, and the back, because the back picture is my favorite to see, the before and current, because I had rolls on my back and I didn't even realize it. So to see the big transformation from my rear view, which all of you have seen my rump, yeah, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot of change, but it's fantastic change. So, you know, the number one thing I can say is definitely take pictures. And the first picture, my before picture, and then the next photo that you see of me in the pink panties, those are the first, like, before and after pictures that I took, because I didn't see the changes. I knew that my pants were a little bit loose. I knew that my, you know, shirts were not as snug as they used to be. But I didn't realize the changes that were taking place. So, and those are about 5 months apart. So, you know, and I again just asked my husband, look, just take the pictures of me again, take the photos, let's put them side by side. I want to see if there are any changes. And to see the difference that, you know, those 5 months made just was amazing. Now, you know, and then I started taking pictures every single month. So now when you see the progress pictures, you can say, okay, that's the before, and then that's 5 months after, and then it's every month after that. Now, how I started doing stuff. I had a regular job for quite a while until right before I got pregnant with my daughter. I actually quit my job and worked for my husband's company at the time. So, and we owned it, so it was kind of like, you know, it was real laid back. I didn't have to like be in a corporate office or anything. Very flexible schedule. But I wasn't staying on myself about, you know, eating healthy and, you know, having activity in my day. To me, cleaning the house was activity. That was my excuse. And then things fell apart with my husband's company, and so he went to work, and I stayed home with the little one. Because in order for me to get a job and pay for childcare, it didn't work out properly. So I stayed at home. I decided that it was going to be my job to go to the gym. And I started with 3 times a week. And I tried like workout videos at home and the Connect and, you know, fitness games or whatever, but they really just don't do what you need to do. You need to push yourself a lot harder, and they don't push you as hard as you should. It's a good place to start, but it's definitely not anything I would do now. But anyway, so I told myself that, you know, okay, this week my focus is go to the gym 3 times. So I did that for 2 weeks. I went to the gym. When my husband would go to work, I packed up my little one and we went to the gym, and it didn't matter if I was there for 1 hour or 3 hours chit-chatting with, you know, the lady in the kids' room. If I made sure to get on those machines, I knew that I would spend even at least 20 minutes on elliptical, and that was 20 minutes more than I would have, you know, if I had stayed home. So either way, it was progress. It was a step in the right direction, and that's how you get to where you want to go, one step at a time. So I went 3 times a week. I did that for 2 weeks, and then I decided, okay, I'm going to go 5 times a week. So every single day that my husband went to work, loaded up, went to the gym. And then, you know, I would pick something to focus on every couple weeks. I would go, okay, this week I'm going to do upper body, then lower body, then upper body, then lower body. And then the next time it would be, okay, I'm going to do front of my body, and then I'm going to do back of my body on different days. And just so I had something to focus on and something to try different. And so it really started to take off from there. Now, I got my gym membership on April Fool's. And so April Fool's Day is when we got our gym membership, and that's when everything really started to take place. Now, our food has drastically changed, in the past year and a half. So when we first started, we thought that being healthy was eating like everything that was labeled healthy in a package. So we would, get like healthy cereals and healthy bars. I cannot tell you how many Fiber One bars I had. And I just focused on the fact that I was getting fiber. Okay. Don't read the ingredients list. You don't want to see what's in it. Just put down the box and walk away. Okay. We also used to make the Fiber One muffins, like the breakfast muffins, and we thought that those were amazingly healthy and awesome. They're not. They're really not. Especially compared to what we eat now. Our food is drastically transformed since the beginning, and we've gone from prepackaged food and stuff like that to realizing that if it's healthy, it's not labeled healthy. It just is healthy. The produce department is our candy store, and if it grows, you can eat it. Pretty good, stamps of approval there. So, again, our food has drastically changed, and like I said, everybody has to start somewhere, and we went through a lot of phases, like eating a little bit less, making sure that our portions were a lot smaller than they had been, and then realizing that it was quality over quantity. So we needed the quality of food instead of focusing on how much. Just clean it out and get nice, clean food. And now we eat clean pretty much 24/7. So, and we love the results and we love what it does, and we're constantly seeing progress in our bodies, which is what we want. So we're going to keep doing it. Now, something else that people have asked me a lot after seeing the before and current pictures is about my skin. Thanks for noticing, you guys. My skin has not always been very taut, and I'm very pale. I'm very see-through. My before photo, that's my real skin color. The one in the blue bikini, that's with tanner. That's with some intense tanner on, okay? That's not my real skin color. Now, the way I got my skin taut, I did use stretch mark fading lotions. I tried one by Bella Bee. You can look it up online. It's, for they have stuff for pre-pregnancy to avoid stretch marks, and they have stuff for post-baby to, help fade the stretch marks. My stretch marks were purple. Okay, like I said, I'm transparent, so when I stretch, it's scary. It looks like I'll get in a cat fight. So I did use some of that. I tried some oils, stuff like that. I hated the oils, so I didn't use those very long. But, the number one thing that I have found through trial and error doing this is that you get your skin taut by sweating out and keeping moisture in. So you clean your body through the inside by drinking water. Okay, so you need to drink several ounces of water a day, trust me. Try that gallon challenge. The gallon challenge, I want you to challenge yourself to drink 1 gallon of water every single day. Now, spin it out over the entire day. Don't try to chug it all at once. And make sure that you've got your toilet paper ready, because you're going to be peeing a lot. But it helps flush everything through your body, and it also helps keep the inside of your body properly hydrated, so your body doesn't try to hold on to excess water. Just like food, as long as you're fueling yourself properly, your body doesn't hold on to a lot of stuff. Also, moisturize from the outside. So again, use very, enriching lotions. Make sure that you're moisturizing your skin from the outside. You're moisturizing it from the inside by hydrating it through drinking water. And then you also get out as many toxins as possible by sweating. So I want you sweating and pushing hard and building muscle, because that's going to help your skin shrink up afterwards. A lot of times whenever you feel those goosebumps after you work out, and you feel your skin tighten, I'm always like, yay, because I know that my skin's staying taut as it should be. So yeah, and again, make sure that you properly care for your skin. Make sure you wear sunscreen. That's another thing. Especially being out at boot camps constantly and stuff like that. I am slathered in SPF. I don't know if you guys understand that. I'm covered in sunscreen. Okay, my regular lotion has SPF 15 in it. My face moisturizer has SPF 15. My sunscreen is SPF 50, 50. So, and I do slather it on. I have enough freckles as is. I don't want any more, and also helps not have any wrinkles. And when you keep your skin, when you're using your skin properly, when you're sweating everything out and you're putting that moisture on, it helps it stay youthful and it helps it stay strong. When you're sweating and you're doing all those exercises out, especially at boot camp and in the gym, your blood is pumping through it. It's pumping all the nutrients through your blood system and through your skin as it should, and so it really helps it stay youthful. You can see a lot of these ladies that have stayed in fantastic shape, and oh my goodness, I want to look like them when I'm a grandmother because they have the most beautiful skin. So that's kind of the gist of where I've come from to where I am now. And like I said, you know, I just set little mini goals for myself. I still do it. I set little goals for myself, and you can see through the pictures kind of sometimes what I was focusing on. You can see, you know, my back kind of start to flatten out, and then you can see my legs thin out. One of the months, it's pretty cool. You can see my thighs kind of separate. And that was a really big goal for me. I never could wear shorts, ever. Anybody who ever knew me, you know, before this knew that I never wore shorts. I didn't even own a pair of shorts. I wore jeans 24/7. You wouldn't even see me in a skirt. So I wore jeans at 100-degree heat. I would never wear shorts, ever, not even around the house. I had pajama pants. So a really big goal for me was to make my thighs not touch anymore. And I remember people telling me, oh, well, don't get too skinny, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get skinny. I got strong, and that's what mattered. That's what made the big difference, is building my legs the way that they were meant to be. So, you know, pick those little goals for yourself. It's okay to have crazy goals that you don't think you may ever reach, but you know that you can, and that's the best part. So I never really thought that it was actually possible to not have my thighs touch, but they don't touch anymore. It's happened, and without me even realizing it, and I can wear shorts and they don't ride. And I own more shorts than pants now. Yay! I own skirts and dresses and stuff like that. I don't just own spandex. I do have real clothes. So it's pretty exciting, and you know, as long as you take those little things and run with it and appreciate every single step towards progress that you make, and every clean meal that you eat is one step closer to your goal, and every time that you go to work out, it's one step closer to your goal. You know, take every single one of those little accomplishments and appreciate them, because they are making every single dream come true that you have, and making sure that you're healthier for one more day. It's one more day that you get to spend with your kids, one more day that you get to spend with friends and family, and enjoy everything that life has to offer. So I hope that you guys have, you know, learned a little bit more about my transformation. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Email me, send me a message on Facebook, on my website, anything like that, because I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. So have fun, and I'll see you on the slimmer side, and stay sweat-tastic. Thanks, guys.